Our next contestant, Matthew Verghese. Matthew Verghese, once upon a time in Dr. Matthew's life. Once upon a time in Dr. Matthew's life, Matthew Verghese.
Contest chair, ladies and gentlemen, I can never forget that day, 1997, February 31st. It was the first time I held a snake in my bare hands. It was raining heavily outside, but inside my clinic in Bardubai, it was bright and sunny. 247 patients were in queue. Some of them had come from as far as Zanzibar, Africa. Suddenly, out of nowhere, two men, 7 feet 13 inches tall, barged into my room. And they said, "Doctor, there is emergency. Patient is pregnant. Come to Ras Al Khaimah." I said, "I'm a pediatrician. I treat babies. Please go somewhere else." Their faces turned green and expanded like Hulk. They held me by my arms, lifted me like cargo, and dumped me in the back of their battered and shattered pickup van. I reiterated, "I am a pediatrician. I treat small babies." And they said, "In pregnant patient's stomach, there is small baby, no big baby." Swooshing through the road and racing at 1,200 kilometers per hour, like we normally see in those PS3 games. In less than 5.5 minutes, we reached a shady-looking place in Ras Al Khaimah. I smelled dung. And I found myself standing beside a cow. And they said, "This patient is pregnant." I said, "I'm a pediatrician, not a veterinarian." I said, "Look, this is not my cup of tea. From somewhere they brought me some tea." I said, "Look, I can't do this." They marched towards me and in an angry chorus they said, "Yes, you can, yes, you can." With my bare hands, I reached inside the cow's belly. I caught hold of the snake. I pulled it out. It turned out to be the calf's tail. I pulled it further, but it seemed stuck. And then, in that contraction, both the tail and my head were inside the cow's belly. Just like those astronauts who move around in zero gravity, I too was floating inside the cow's belly. I gently untied the umbilical cord which was entangled around the calf's neck. The calf smiled at me and gently licked my cheek. And then the mother cow applied pressure. I fell flat on my back. Next came the calf straight on my chest, followed by some dung. Actually, lots of it. The two men got into a violent celebration. I went and changed the name board outside my clinic to read, "Dr. Matthew, pediatrician, come veterinarian." The other day, Paris Hilton called me from New York. She needed a doctor to treat Pooch. Now, Pooch is her dog, and she needed a veterinarian come pediatrician because she treats Pooch like her own baby. I must confess, I was least worried about Pooch, but most excited about Paris. On my flight to New York, there was a terrible turbulence and a passenger announcement. "We have an emergency. We need a gynecologist. Our pilot has gone into labor." I jumped up on my seat and boldly announced, "I have the experience," with a cow. responsible for that baby safely landing in the cockpit. While in New York, I diagnosed that Pooch was actually suffering from depression. Because a French magazine had published pictures of it sunbathing with nothing on. Pooch became okay the time I assured you that no such pictures would be published in Dubai. That trip won me 2 friends on Facebook. One Paris and the other Pooch. And now if you come to my clinic in Bur Dubai, you will find the board read, Dr. Matthew, pediatrician, come veterinarian, come gynecologist.
The next contestant, Jose Puvatinka. Jose Puvatinka, I am not joking. I am not joking, Jose Puvatinka.
Respected contest chair, distinguished judges, fellow Toastmasters, very warm good afternoon to all of you. 23 years ago, on top of a hot air balloon at 1,000-meter height in the world-famous Masai Mara in Kenya. I know that you won't believe it. That's why I brought my certificate. At 1,000-meter height, I was watching the spectacular animal kingdom down, and I felt like I'm a Superman. I jumped from there and landed safely on top of an elephant. The elephant was so furious, and he took me like this and threw me. I reached a few kilometers away on top of a Maasai tribal hut. You know the tribals? Oh. The Maasai warriors caught me. They tied me. And the Maasai king ordered to slaughter me and give my blood to their goddess Kunshasha. As per the Maasai rule, before cutting throat of any victim, they have to give a final bath by the Maasai tribal ladies. All half-dressed. For me, this is the first time. I never seen before. Not the half-dressed ladies, but the 2-meter shining sword which is going to pierce my leg later. While giving the final bath, the Maasai ladies were tickling me all over. I was laughing too much. And finally I fell on top of a lady. The rule book, not the TMI rule book. The Maasai rule book says, if you fall on top of a Maasai lady, you have to marry her. That too without dowry. I said, no way! The Maasai king was so furious and he kicked me like a football. And I went and landed in the Atlantic Ocean. There I took a deep dive and relaxed for a while. Then I started to feel hungry. I tried to catch some fish. I took as I'm an all-time prepared fellow, I threw my line into the sea. Waited for a minute. A big fish caught. I was trying to pull it. Suddenly, a big tug. A huge white shark caught hold of my fish. I was using all my power, pulling, and it got broken. Yeah. You know that with this powerful body, I'm not an easy fellow. I jumped into the sea. I had a sedulous fight with the shark. And literally, in 3 minutes, I destroyed the 278 teeth of the shark. I am not joking. After that, I have cut the belly of the shark. I lost my fish. The fish was already swallowed by the shark. So with my Sylvester Stallone style body, I opened the mouth of the shark and went inside. I saw my fish. It was dead into 2 pieces. As I have the super glue always with me, I took the 2 pieces and put it together and put super glue and gave life to the fish by... The fish was so happy. And I named him Sammy. And finally, with my sharp, shining knife, I cut the belly of the shark and came out. That was the last time, the final attempt by the shark to bite my head, which was missed by 1 inch. The shark got my hair, and I got my head. Then suddenly I took my big fish and we were swimming from there, swimming, and finally reached Jumeirah Beach in Dubai. How many of you remember Sammy, the whale shark 3 years ago, which was the talk of the town that time in the Palm Jumeirah Aquarium? How many of you remember that? Yes, all credit goes to me. Believe me, I'm not joking. Over to you.
Contestant, Aaron D'Souza. Aaron D'Souza, the Hulk. The Hulk. Aaron D'Souza.
You must be wondering, how come this puny creature can dare talk about the Hulk? Well, let me take you to the morning when one day I was looking at the mirror and prayed for a blessing. Good afternoon, one and all. 20th September 2012, a depressed and crestfallen Aaron ventured into the jungle in search of some abiding peace. As I was plucking a purple apple from the tree, at a far off distance, I saw a beautiful female. As I was approaching towards her, she looked strange, as she had a muscular green-colored physique, the Hulk, to be precise. I approached her with curiosity and asked her, "Oh, beautiful lady, why do you have a physique of a lady, of a man?" To which she told me, "I am the goddess of physique." I immediately bowed at her feet of gold, and chipping a bit of gold with the help of my tooth, I pleaded for mercy and asked her to grant me a wish. Seeing my desperation, she took a rainbow-colored bottle of water from a bag made of purple droplets and told me, "Drink from it, and you will turn into Hulk." I immediately grabbed the bottle of water from her and started drinking from it. And within a fraction of a second, I turned into the Hulk. All beefed up, I decided it was time for revenge. I wanted to get back at my gym instructor, who always told me, "You will never have a good physique. You will always remain a size 0 skinny model." I thanked the lady and told her about my intention. She warned me, "Be careful, as you are no longer an ordinary man." You have drowned the essence of life. Paying little heed to her advice, I decided to run towards the gym, which was 100 kilometers away from the jungle. And in 0.01 second, I had reached my destination. As I entered the gym, everyone was stunned and looked at me. My gym instructor came running towards me. Oh Aaron, please forgive me, as I could not realize your body's potential of its magnitude and altitude. I pushed him with the tip of my fingernail. Little did I know that it had its own consequences. My power transported my gym instructor from Dubai to Afghanistan. I started off with a cardio exercise, and I kept yelling at my gym instructor, please add on more weight. Out of frustration, pulling my hair. He told me, how much more weight do you want? You're already carrying 5,000 tons of weight on your toes. I moved on with some ab exercise, and with each sequence, I developed 3 abs. You would be surprised, I currently have 66 abs. 60 on my tummy and 6 on my back. I was not happy with the gym equipment at all and decided I had to leave. I was about to leave when the owner of the gym came to me and told me, son, I've seen you work out, and all I request you is to donate few drops of your sweat, which I personally believe can generate electricity. I wiped my forehead and gave me exactly 3 drops. To date, Fitness Blast is the only gym in the world which does not depend on solar energy. Aaron's workout of 0.55 seconds, that should last him a decade. So friends, I still have that rainbow colored bottle of water. Yeah, right there. Would you like to have a few drops? Over to you, Toastmaster.